Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. I know I took a little too long to review the film, but I finally got around to seeing the movie called The Roses that came out a couple of weeks ago. I've seen this movie a week ago, and I know I've been a little behind on reviewing movies lately, but I'm now finally getting around to it. So for The Roses, I had no idea what this movie was about because I remember when they were popping up in the trailer in the theater, out of nowhere. It was a short little promo, and I had no idea what this movie was about. I knew that Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman are both in the movie, but I had no idea what it was about. It looked like a too over-the-top rom-com movie, and it looked very generic at first when I first saw that trailer. And then I heard some good things about the movie, and some of the few people really loved it and saying, you need to see this movie. Even though that this movie's got a 65% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I believe that it got like 78% of the audience rating, but I decided to go see it because I love Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm a big fan of his work. I loved him in Doctor Strange in the MCU. I loved him in Star Trek in the Darkness and in The Imitation Game. He's been a lot of good roles that are Oscar-worthy performance. And I had no idea that this was going to be a movie that will be up his alley to do a comedy movie like this. And Olivia Colman, I've only seen her in an MCU show called Secret Invasion. And then I've seen her in the movie Wonka with Timothée Chalamet that played the main antagonist in the movie. And I thought she was a really damn good actor. And she was also in a recent film called Paddington in Peru, which I have not seen it yet. I gotta check that out because I love the first two Paddington movies. But seeing these two in the film together, I had no idea that this was gonna work. And you got these two married couple who are very dysfunctional, and even though they have a love-hate relationship with each other, and they're very competitive. And you have Benedict Cumberbatch, who had a career that went down the toilet. He was able to build things, and then once an incident happened, it completely escalated and went down the toilet from his career. Then Olivia Colman, who's supposed to be the best chef in the world, she was able to open a restaurant and branch out other restaurants and build her own empire. And with Benedict Cumberbatch, he has to try to build himself back up again and get a comeback and try to set a purpose in his own life. And he is completely over the top. And I will say, after coming out of the theater, I will say that I was not expecting this movie to be funny this much. Now, the man who directed this movie, it's directed by Jay Roach, who directed the Austin Powers trilogy, which I had to look that up to be sure what movies he directed because I don't remember. And I love the Austin Powers trilogy, one of my favorite spoof movies of all time. And I really enjoyed Meet the Parents and Meet the Fockers. He also directed those movies. Then you got the screenwriter that was supposed to be Tony McNamara. I'm sorry if I'm butchering his last name, but he did the screenplay for The Favorite and Poor Things. So this was a good collaboration, and this is supposed to be an adaptation from the novel called The War of the Roses, and it's supposed to be a satire dark comedy. And then they did an adaptation of the 1989 film The War of the Roses that was directed by Danny DeVito, and you had Michael Douglas and you have Kathleen Turner, which I have not seen that film when it came out. I was not familiar with that work, but I'm willing to check that one out. But I will say, after coming out of The Roses, you have to go out and see it. I was not expecting the movie to be funny this much. You had a great all-star comedic actors. I was expecting Benedict Cumberbatch to be funny, but I was not expecting him to be this funny. He made me laugh the hardest. I cannot believe he really went there. Olivia Colman was also amazing in the movie. Their chemistry is absolutely outstanding. Like I said before, their marriage, they have like a love-hate relationship. They had years of resentment, and they had a complete denial of admitting that they're wrong. And you get it to the point where it gets very crazy and over the top to the point where they're trying to kill each other. And it delivered the great humor. It's very sharp, witty dialogue. It never pulls any punches when it comes to the crude jokes and dirty jokes at the same time. Kate McKinnon and Andy Samberg, who are playing the two married couple, I thought they were a great addition to the cast. I thought they were fantastic. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Kate McKinnon as an actress. I mean, she was great in SNL, but she's always coming off of more of a character actor when she's in a comedy movie, and some of the movies that she's in are some of the hit and misses. But I will say that she was one of the funniest part of the film that I was not expecting. I thought it did so well of delivering a great humor without trying to be funny, if that makes any sense. It feels like we were getting back to why we love comedy so much. It's a dark comedy, and I will say that the weakness part of the film, to me, if I were to give a negative, I feel like the third act to me kind of went a little bit too far, and especially towards the end. Once you see the movie by the end of the film, you'll know what I'm talking about. And it kind of took me off guard, like, wait, what? they really went in that direction. I guess that it was more poetic the way that how they wrapped that up. But I will say, overall, this is definitely probably the funniest movie I've seen all year since The Naked Gun. I hope that studio can take attention, that we can have good comedy that are smart, and it never tries to go too much over the top with the jokes. They let the jokes be subtle, and it's very natural and authentic with their jokes. This is something that you can definitely take your date to see this movie. You're gonna have a good laugh from beginning to end. Benedict Cumberbatch is a comedy gold. I mean, he's always been in a lot of dramatic roles, even when he's been in some movies that are funny at times, but for this type of film, he crushed it. I never thought he could actually do comedy until after this movie. I loved Olivia Colman. She was amazing. I'm going to give this movie a 9 out of 10. This is a must-see in the theaters. I know it's probably not going to last long in theaters because not a lot of people are going out to see it and support it, which I think you should, because it's hilarious. Because then it shows the studio how much you really want more comedy movies like this, and that they can continue to do more. Because a lot of comedy movies, mostly our stuff are dying, and studios are trying to slowly bring that back, and hopefully that we can get more. I would definitely watch it again. I would definitely buy it on digital, and I'm pretty much curious to watch the original film, The War of the Roses, and try to compare that, because I can't compare to the original film and to the book, because I never read the book, because I'm not familiar with the source material. I just went in with it completely blind without knowing anything, except for watching the promo. That's about it. But anyway, what did you think of The Roses? Did you love it? Did it make you laugh your ass off? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like this review, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications so that you know when my videos are up. And if you want to follow my social media platforms, the link tree would be down in the description down below. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, great evening, wherever you're from, and stay tuned for more of my content.